What's going on YouTube subscribers and new listeners? You're watching KBTV, where knowledge is born, and now I'm King David. Salutations and greetings. How y'all doing today? Today we're going to discuss Astrology Part 2 and get a little bit more deeper into the astrology. I still have the Zodiac astrological chart right here from Astrology Part 1. All right. And remember last time we covered the cardinal points. Cardinal points were Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Okay, remember the cross. Okay, this is the equinox. This is solstice. All right. Also, we're going to discuss how Horus, or how Horus travels along the day. All right, and how it travels in different degrees as well. So we're going to talk about the day cycle, and we're going to talk about the yearly cycle and the great galactic year cycle. Okay. And also, I want to bring you guys attention is sin. Okay, a lot of us think about the biblical or religious term sin, which is they think, bad, but really what they're talking about is this sine wave that we're all born into, okay, which is like this. Okay, that's the sine wave. That is the way the sun travels across this zodiac. Okay, when it goes into Tropic of Cancer. Okay, Tropic of Cancer is here. Okay, and then Tropic of Capricorn is down here. Okay. Tropic of Capricorn, Tropic of Cancer, and this is how the sun travels. Okay, so it's at zero ascension. Remember, the sun rises from the east, zero ascension, Aries, and it goes up, Tropic of Capricorn, and it falls down to Tropic of Capricorn. All right, and the sun travels at 360 degrees around the zodiac. 360 degrees is a full circle. Okay, this full circle is 360 degrees. No matter how big or small the circle is, okay, it is 360 degrees. All right. Now, last video we discussed ascension and descension. All right, we discussed the cardinal points. All right, we discussed the cardinal signs, which is the same as the cardinal. Where the cardinal points are as the cardinal signs. All right, then the fixed signs, and then the mutable signs, and so on. We talked about that. All right, so now we're going to go into how the sun travels through the day. All right, because remember, the sun is doing the sine wave through the zodiac, also during the year, and when the sun is traveling. So at 6 to 8 a.m. when Aries, when the sun is at 0 degree, okay, this is 0 degree ascension, that's when Horus is rising. That's when Horus is on the horizon. Okay, if you switch the two letters around in Horus, the R and the U, you're going to get Horus. In hours. If you switch the letters R and U in hours, you'll get Horus. All right, so when you're saying, okay, where is Horus right now? Oh, Horus is at 6 o'clock a.m. in Aries. Okay, and I don't know about you guys, but I wake up automatically at that time, 6 a.m. Between 5 and 6 a.m. I wake up automatically. My body's saying, my mind's like, get up. It's just that energy flow, and the sun goes through a positive and negative energy throughout the day. Okay, so Aries will start off with positive energy. Okay, when you get to Taurus, which will be about 8 to 10 a.m., okay, for those who get to work and clock in about 8. Usually sluggish around then. You know, you need your coffee to wake up. You know, you're in sluggish Taurus. But when you get out of Taurus and get to Gemini, which is about 10 to 12, okay, uh, then you're energetic. Things are going. You're about to go on lunch. All right, 12 to 2, or you might go on lunch at 12 to 2, but 12 to 2 is sluggish, negative energy, because that's like the middle of the day. You're ready to go home. You're anxious to go home. You know, it's close to 4 or 5 o'clock. Okay, when you get to Leo, which is 2 and 4, it's back to positive energy. All right. A lot of people eat at that time because it's Leo. Okay, that's the lion. That's feeds the belly. And then 4 to 6 is back to negative energy, Virgo. Most people get sluggish and sleepy on their way. You know, when you get home, you get off work, you be tired. Okay. And then 6 to 8 would be Libra. Remember, Libra is the 7th house. It represents marriage and partnership. So you're getting home to your partner, or in a relationship, and you're discussing things, how your day went over a meal, over what you guys cooked. Okay, then it's back to negative. 8 to 10, Scorpio, and 10 to 12, Sagittarius, positive. Then 12 to 2, Capricorn, negative. 2 to 4, Aquarius, positive. 4 to 6, Pisces, negative, and it goes back. Okay, remember Aries. Remember I always say heaven is in the head. All right, Aries is in the head. Heaven is in the head. The Garden of Eden is in the head. Hell is at the feet. Or is Pisces? Pisces is at the feet. All right. So that goes. That's how the sun travels during the daytime. Okay. And it goes through each zodiac sign every 2 hours. All right. And that's how the sun operates. All right. So that's, and then the degrees. So that's how Horus travels during the day through the zodiac every 2 hours. But, you know, the degrees of how the sun travels is starts at 0 ascension, which is when the sun rises in the east. That's 0 ascension. In Aries at 6 a.m. that's 0 degrees. But when it reaches Cancer, which is top of the afternoon, okay, we're at 90 degrees. And then when the sun falls in Libra, evening, when it's time to eat, it's at 180 degrees. And then at midnight, it's at 270 degrees. All right, remember we're talking about 360 degrees of knowledge, is what I like to call it. But 360 degrees is a full circle. And it's always just good information to know, like, if you don't got a watch, you know, you can always tell time from the sun. So if you see the sun setting on the west, and you know, okay, it's about 6 p.m., 6 p.m., depending on the season, right? And the sun is 180 degrees west. It's good information to know. All right, and the sunlight that reflects from the sun is always at a 90-degree angle. It's no more than 90 degrees. All right, so that's how we know when the sun is at the top of the day, we're at 90 degrees. All right. Now, let's talk about the yearly cycle, okay, and the monthly cycle, okay, because remember, it's positive and negative energy we're dealing with. Remember, we got to start understanding the duality of things, black and white, negative, positive, okay, feminine, masculine, okay, good, evil, you know what I'm saying. All right, so this is what this is. All right, positive, negative. So when the sun is in the month of Aries, positive energy. Taurus, negative energy. Gemini, positive. Cancer, and so on. Okay, and that's the month goes with the same as the days. Now, on a yearly cycle, all right, when we're dealing with seasons, remember we're talking about the equinox and the solstice. Okay. Because the sun and the moon has its own waxing and winding cycle. and phases that they go through. So um, when the sun is going through its waxing cycle, okay, along with the moon, it starts at zero ascension, okay, all the way to about 180 degrees descension, which will be the other side of the equinox. So March to September, okay, will be that, like the time, like basically the time when the sun and moon is waxing is during that equinox time, and that's the time where farmers are planting and doing their farming, because they know when that's the time. You can't do it in winter when it's December and cold and rainy and snowy, and the sun's not emitting its most potential and energy at that time. So you have a cycle that the sun goes through during the year, and that is the solstice and equinox. And at the equinox, the sun is balanced. Everything is balanced at this time of the year, March and September. Okay, temperature and the light that's coming from the sun is emitting everywhere equally. Everything is balanced. Okay, so when Horus, the sun, is traveling, all right, during the season, that has this waxing cycle, which is positive from all the way from March to September, and then after September, when it gets down into November and December, is the waning cycle, and our sun is, it falls, it's dying. Not literally, but the energy falls. All right? And remember the duality of things. So you have the light, positive energy, then the sun falls and gives into the darkness. Okay? And we lose that light. All right? And that's the positive negative effect during the year. All right, now on a galactic or great year cycle, okay? Because right now we're in the age of Aquarius, okay? You got to understand that the sun, when it's traveling through the day, okay, it's going clockwise. All right, so the sun is going clockwise. All right, and the universe, our universe, the zodiac and the universe is going counterclockwise. It's going the opposite way. All right, put some arrows in there. All right, so the sun is traveling clockwise, and our solar system is traveling backwards, counterclockwise, the opposite direction. Okay? And it moves 1 degree every 72 years. It moves 1 degree the other way. Remember, Horus is traveling clockwise around the zodiac, but the great year cycle is going backwards. All right, 1 degree every 72 years. Now we're in the age of Aquarius. Okay. And I can't get into detail right now as to how I know we're in the age of Aquarius, but I will get into that in part 3, about how we're in Aquarius now. All right, and how the math fits to where we're at. But we're in the age of Aquarius, which is the age of enlightenment. And like I said, the gray year cycle goes back. It goes counterclockwise. So, and right now we're in the age of Aquarius. And the cycle for the gray year cycle is every 2,000 years. So every 2,000 years, we go through a complete zodiac sign. So we'll be in the age of Aquarius for another 2,000 years before we go into Capricorn. All right, and which is when the sun takes us through a full resolution around the zodiac in our solar system, is 24,000 years. Okay, 24,000 years full circle. Okay. Remember in my video, The Earth is Stationary, how I talked about the circumference of the Earth. Circumference of the Earth is 24,000 miles, a little over. But, all right, this is not a coincidence. It's no coincidence. This relates into the great year cycle of 24,000, which we have to go through. Okay. The circumference of the Earth is 24,000, okay, miles. Hours in a day is 24. Okay. So this is not a coincidence. This is by design. So it takes the sun, when the sun is taking us through the zodiac, it takes 24,000 years to come to a complete full resolution or full circle of 360 degrees, which is full circle is 360 degrees, but 24,000 years, because each zodiac we go through is 2,000 year zodiac sign. All right. So we go through our daily zodiac sign, then we go through our monthly and yearly zodiac sign, and we go through the great year zodiac sign. Okay. So we talked about the degrees of how the sun travels. Okay. It travels at every 30 degrees every 2 hours. All right. So it does a full 360. Full circle is 360 degrees. We discussed that as sine wave. That's what the sun does. Okay. It actually does a figure 8 in the sky through a course of a whole year. When it goes from the Tropic of Cancer, which is at the top, to the Tropic of Capricorn, it does a full figure 8. Oops. Okay, it does a full figure 8 in the sky. That's what the sun does. If for you guys who ever seen the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks, when he was in the cave and he was making a chart of how the sun traveled, it was exactly a figure 8 like that. All right. And we talked about how the great year turns counterclockwise and how the sun takes us clockwise, the opposite direction. All right. We talked about the AM and PM hours of how the Horus travels through the day. All right. Now we're going to discuss the planets and what they mean to our signs. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. We talked about the degree, the year, great year, the hour, sine wave. Okay. All right. All right, so each planet represents a different part of life, a different energy. In psychological terms, or excuse me, in psychology terms, they are considered your needs or drives. In astrology, the planets are divided into 3 categories: personal planets, social planets, and collective planets. The personal planets are the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. They are called fast-moving planets because they travel through the entire zodiac quickly. The fastest is the Moon at 28 days. The slowest is Mars at one year. The social planets are Jupiter and Saturn. They are seen as transition between the personal planets and the collective planets. The collective planets are Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. They are called slow-moving planets because they travel slowly through the zodiac, taking 12 to 49 years. Okay. Also, to keep in mind, you guys, that the sun always travels on the equator, on the ecliptic. Okay, it never changes degrees. It never, in other words, it doesn't. It does go through its degrees during the day, but in other words, it doesn't decline or incline. Okay, like other planets do. It stays exactly on track all the time. All right, and speaking of the sun, we're going to start with the sun. I'm going to erase this here.